Well, look at that. Started at 2:30. Yay! Yes. Yeah, I was going to do laundry. No beer today. So it's doing laundry. It's terrible. Oh, my God. I see how the women suffer. I don't know how I can deal with it, man. So I ran across this pole smoking ad on, what is this frickin' channel called here? Democrat, some crap. Oh, it's CNBC. Hold on. Let me look. How the Biden administration has advanced women's rights from the Democrats. Link is in the description. Let's go to this pole smoking party,
Madam Speaker, Madam Vice President. No president has ever said those words from this podium.
Yeah, because we haven't had a female vice president until Vice President Harris. So what's your fucking point? Jumping Joe.
And it's about time.
It's about fucking time.
Black female vice presidential pick and first Asian female vice presidential pick.
Ushering wait a minute. Whoa. She gets a twofer? Oh, my God. That's right. I believe her dad was from Caribbean islands and her mom was from India, I believe. So, hey, she's a twofer. There you go.
Cabinet in U.S. history.
Too bad she's not a lesbian. We could have three.
Hey, everyone, I'm Joe Biden's husband.
I'm deeply proud to be a partner in the commitments we're making to the cancer moonshot today.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's cure cancer. I'm all for that. Absolutely. Yes. Spend lots of money getting rid of cancer. Nobody's going to disagree with that.
Has been holding a full-time job outside of the White House.
When I made the commitment to nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court, I could see this day because
imagine.
I thought about it for a long, long time.
Imagine, if you would. Can you imagine Donald Trump saying, I'm going to go out of my way to appoint myself a white man to the Supreme Court? Could you imagine? But of course, it's not racist because, historical oppression.
Been a successful week for President Biden.
And she is actually a threefer, isn't she? Is she a LGBT, I think, as well? Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the press secretary woman who's a double. She's black and lesbian.
A massive climate, healthcare, and tax bill.
And the affirmative and the bill, as amended, is passed.
I believe in the promise of America.
Great.
I believe in the future of this country. I believe in the very soul
Reagan Mappino
of this nation. Most of all,
look at all them women getting congressional medals of freedom there. That's beautiful.
I believe in you.
What did they do? I'm sure some of them actually deserve it.
American people. I believe to my core, there isn't a single thing this country cannot do when we put our mind to it.
Okay. Again, a good patriotic. Good. Okay.
President Joe Biden celebrated International Women's Day with the nomination of two women to the top defense leadership positions.
Okay.
Postpartum Medicaid coverage is.
I mean, does anyone have any problems with that? I don't. If women, men, whoever qualified for the position, absolutely. No problem with that. At all.
To be extended to a year.
Extraordinary first ever cabinet meeting on the crisis led by Vice President Kamala Harris.
Black maternal health crisis. Yes, again, there's a problem we can address. And no one is going to disagree.
So many have worked so hard to modernize the Violence Against Women Act.
Modern Against Women Act. Okay, yeah, that's Joe's big accomplishment back in the 90s. Yeah. Aside from trying to derail Clarence Thomas's nomination. Joe, jumping Joe.
Make her stronger.
Forgot about that, huh? You don't want to bring that up? Is that to prove you were racist at the time? No.
Make sure that it endures.
See, Clarence Thomas is not really a black man because he's a conservative. See.
The landmark decision that overturned Roe versus Wade.
Now, what about the times that changed so much, right? Robert Bork, he was derailed, basically. He was just an evil, white guy. But he liked to smoke the Kush. And then, we can't have that here. That was, 1987? And 10 years later, Bill Clinton's bragging about smoking the Kush.
And ended a woman's constitutional right to an abortion.
Oh, that's right. Bork was also conservative. I wonder if there's any connection here. Let me think about that.
Consider the challenge accepted, court.
Oh.
But in the meantime, I'm signing this important executive order.
Okay.
I'm asking the Justice Department.
Yeah.
That much like they did in the civil rights era, to do something, do everything in their power to protect these women seeking to invoke their rights.
Okay. Well, the Supreme Court said it's not a federal issue, so call me crazy.
It won't matter where you live. Women won't have the right to choose anywhere.
Well, you know, all of this nonsense is playing well with the 10% of women out there who are feminists. I think the rest of the country is like, whatever. Take birth control. Don't be stupid. You know, just saying.
Let me tell you something. If they take it back and they try and pass it, I will veto it.
What are they going to do? What are they going to what? What are they going to veto? What did I miss? I'm sorry. I'm yapping too much here. I just get so excited when I get to listen to Joe Biden. I mean, it's such a rare thing. It says 50,000 abortions later. I don't know what the hell. This is Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham.
Back and they try and pass it, I will.
What the hell are they going to pass? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Graham wants to pass something.
Women won't have the right to choose anywhere.
Oh, he proposed the 15-week national ban, I think, or national abortion law. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure.
Let me tell you something. If they take it back and they try and pass it, I will veto it.
So they were going to try to pass a federal law that limited abortion in the United States to 15 weeks, which is in line with most other major Western countries. What's the problem? Joe, what's the problem? Why isn't that not sufficient amount of time? What is that, 3 months, 3.5 months for a woman to choose to have an abortion? Now, 6 weeks or whatever, we can talk about it. 6 weeks is a little bit early. I understand that. And I think it's ridiculous, but I think it was put in place to get it before the Supreme Court. That's just my opinion. 15 weeks, it's like almost 4 months. That seems like a sufficient amount of time to me. Oh, but you just don't know because you're not a woman. Right?
MAGA Republicans have awakened to the powerful force in America, the women of this nation.
Yeah, well, a lot of women in this nation don't agree with this bullshit. By the way, you heard it touted millions of times. Well, the majority of people in the United States support abortion, right? With a time limit, yes. I think the time limit was more like 12 weeks. So what did the Nazi in Florida do? What did the Florida Nazis do? Well, they have a 15-week limitation on abortion, but it's still legal in that Republican Hitler stronghold, Florida. Yeah, must be some other reason why those in power don't want the people to vote on this particular topic. People in Kansas just agreed to their abortion law. Fine, that's the way it's supposed to work. So why does the federal government have to have their nose up in this shit? Have you thought about that? I wonder if there's any reason you might be able to think of if you carefully consider what the whole abortion thing has done.
MAGA Republicans don't have a clue about the power of women. They are about to find out.
Republicans aren't that much different than the Democrats in some respects, especially with respect to divorce law, no-fault divorce, all that other crap. They're the same goddamn thing. They believe in families and apple pie and dogs and fences and shit, Chevrolets in the garage, but they don't lift a finger to change no-fault divorce or make the alimony laws go away or make child cut. Nothing. Zero zip nada. Rubio in Florida even wanted to introduce a bill to make men pay child support during the pregnancy. Did you miss that? And Rubio is he's a rhino, but he's nominally a Republican. Yeah.
So I want to be crystal clear
No,
of what's on the ballot this year.
Yeah.
Your right to choose is on the ballot this year. The safety of your kids from gun violence is on the ballot. The very survival of our planet is on the ballot.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Let's get a little bit hyperbolic. But I mean, he's a politician. I get it.
Even the democracy.
Now, if Trump were to say that, he's obviously a fascist.
Are you ready to fight for these things now?
Oh, he said something about democracy. Why is it they keep talking about the end of democracy, the evil Republicans, the fascists, the nationalists, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And yet all the Roe decision 6 months ago did was bring democracy on this topic back to the people. You'd think they'd be in support of that, wouldn't you? No. Well, I wonder, do we see a contradiction here? I think we do.
You got it. We'll protect voting rights. We'll pass election reform and make sure no one ever has the opportunity to steal an election again.
We'll make damn sure nobody has to show an ID to vote. Damn it. Because that's the way we like to roll, bro.
We the people.
Because it's not racist or anything to assume that black people, people of color, minorities can't go get a fucking driver's license. Nothing racist about that thought process. Nothing at all.
Are the first words of our Constitution. And we, the people, will still determine the destiny of America. If we, the people, stand together, we will prevail as we, the people.
See, unless it's we, the people, wanting to vote on abortion in our own state, that's different. So that's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
We just have to keep the faith. We just have to vote. Vote.
Well, that was quite the blowjob, eh? I think I need a shower after that one, guys. I'm telling you. Monthly beer allowance for all gingers. I totally agree. Put that on the ballot. What's this monthly shit? No. I want daily. Riggs is here. Vero's back. Brandon Trueblood. Bliskin the Snake is here. Fabian Farina. How are you? Zombro is in the building. And you're absolutely right. That is correct. But doesn't have anything to do with eugenics or human weeds or Margaret Sanger. Come on. What kind of weird freaking conservative conspiracy whack job are you? You evil hater of women, you. Just, oh my God. All right. I got one more for you. A little more. Well, it's MSNBC. I mean, what do you want? Yeah, I mean, come on. So I was looking at this, and then that's why I decided to come back on the air. I can take a nap after I'm done here. Have some warm milk and a cookie. All right, where the hell was it? Biden's rights, too little, too late. Okay, this is someone called... hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
The future of connectivity is here.
Okay.
Where mobile and internet work hand in hand to create one seamless network that works to automatically block threats.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. All right. So they go through that commercial that Swallowwell put together. So we already did that. We don't have to do it again. Or do you want to do it again? Maybe you missed it last time. All right, we'll do it.
What might America look like come January 2025 if Republicans take control of both chambers of Congress and the White House? A new ad paints a very dark picture.
Well, hopefully it'll look a lot better, like kind of Trump before the coup. That'd be good. Blah, 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 blah.
You're weird. He is weird.
So I guess this guy is Mehdi Hassan.
But cute.
And he is not at all biased. This is fair and balanced down the middle, as you'll notice.
Gross.
Yes, it is. Zombro.
Mary Anderson?
Yes.
I have a warrant for your arrest.
Michelle Guevara.
Arrest for what? Penal Code
Mendacious,
243
superfluous,
violation.
narcissist
Unlawful
bullshit
termination
company.
of a
All right,
pregnancy.
there you go. See?
You gotta be kidding me.
Look at this guy. Over in France, he can spell better than most Americans.
Besides, man, your medical records have been subpoenaed, and
What
Dr.
does
Landers
Zombro
already
say?
in custody.
Yep, I hear you.
God, you can't just.
You will have to.
No, I just tried. I think I got here in time to register to vote in Missouri. They just changed the law. You have to have government issued ID. Just real basic shit. You got to have a driver's license. Oh God, right? And I also got notification last week that I just got my ballot sent to me from Colorado. It's like, excuse me, haven't lived there for almost 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, whatever. I don't think I'm really. Well, you're gonna have to do something. I'm still a voter in Colorado. I can mail the damn ballot in if I get it and vote in Colorado. What the hell? There's nothing wrong with that, though. I mean, it's evil Republicans.
Submit to a physical examination.
What? By who?
No one's touching me.
If I get it, I'll actually show it to you on the screen. I think they actually kick it back. If it's forwarded, they kick it back. So that they figure out you moved. But that this is the second or third one they've tried to send. And I haven't lived there since July of 2021. So what the hell's going on?
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Yep.
Now.
Mama was a hoe. Well, here, dear, here's what happened. Me and Dad, we just wanted to wait for you. So the 7 brothers and sisters you had, we just didn't want. We weren't ready. My career.
Elections have consequences. Vote Democrat on November 8th.
No. No.
Stop Republicans from criminalizing abortion everywhere.
Well, if abortion is criminalized, and I don't think it will be, or it shouldn't be. But if it is, if some state decided they wanted that kind of thing, well, the people of the state would vote on that. They would decide with their fellow citizens to vote for something to do that. I don't think anyone is going to do that. And if it is voted in that way, there's the opportunity for people to vote in other people to put in legislation to get it back on track. I just don't see this as a big problem. We're not trying to arrest people. I don't believe. I mean, if they came up to me in Missouri, hey, we want to put women in jail. I think some idiot floated the idea that if a Missouri resident goes to Illinois, they could be arrested for what the fuck is wrong with you people? Come on. And it turns out Planned Parenthood is building a huge building right over the border in Illinois from St. Louis. Shocker, huh?
Protect women's rights and freedom.
Yeah, well, they are. I'm not shitting you. They're putting up a big facility to handle all the influx of abortions from St. Louis.
That ad by Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell might seem a bit extreme at first, but if you think about it, it really isn't.
No, it's quite extreme there, Medi. What the fuck's your problem? Nobody's going to come to somebody's house and arrest them for having an abortion. What the hell is wrong with you? What kind of fever dreams do you have at night?
Look at Arizona. Their Trumpian Republican candidate, Kari Lake, is neck and neck in the polls for Arizona governor.
Oh, God forbid we elect a female as governor of Arizona. We wouldn't want that. Oh, no, wait, no, excuse me. We want the other female, not this one, because she's not really a female, because she's for Trump. And, well, her vagina card has been canceled. She doesn't count anymore.
Against her Democratic rival, Lake has expressed support for Arizona's near-total abortion ban that predates Roe v. Wade. That law, dating back to 1864, the Civil War era, outlaws all abortions except in unclearly defined cases when the woman's life is in danger.
I didn't think Arizona became a state until 1912. Maybe I'm wrong.
It also threatens healthcare providers who perform abortions with 2 to 5 years of prison time. Don't forget, Donald Trump.
Okay, so what did this person just illustrate? Okay, it says virtually all abortions are now criminalized in Arizona after a judge reinstated an 1864 ban. Healthcare providers who violate this law face between 2 and 5 years in prison. Not the mother, not the woman getting the abortion, the people who perform the abortion. Do you see any difference between reality and the fantasy in that commercial we just saw? Anything ring a bell there? Yeah. Now, here's the interesting part. Kari Lake, the soon-to-be governor of Arizona, she could be in favor of this and Martians coming from Uranus and doing what the people of Arizona have to vote the people in that are going to put this stuff into effect. Right? The horse is dead here. I've already explained it a million times. If the people don't like whatever law in Arizona or whatever state, the people of that state can vote in people that'll draft a law or pass a law that's more to their liking if they have the majority support in Arizona. It's really not that hard. Just like every other law in the country. If you don't like it, you have the opportunity to go to your legislature, elect people to change it. Whereas when Roe was in effect, people had no say. You see, I wonder why the Democrats kind of like that system.
Perform abortions with 2 to 5 years of prison time.
For the healthcare provider.
Himself in 2016 said, and later recanted, that women who seek abortions should be subject to, quote, some form of punishment if the procedure is banned in the U.S.
Okay. Well, if it's illegal, one would expect there'd be some punishment. It's not going to be illegal. That is hyperbole. It's hyperbolic bullshit. It's not going to happen. They're not going to make birth control illegal. They're not going to make gay rights go away. Stop with the bullshit. I will vote against any of that shit if it ever comes up. I don't want birth control to be banned. What the hell's that? No. I don't want gay people to be discriminated against. What kind of shit is that? Oh, but you evil Republicans, that's what you want to do. It's a slippery slope, blah, 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 blah.
The point is that dystopian Swalwell ad isn't some far-fetched fear-mongering campaign.
Yes, it is, you stupid fuck. It's not going to happen in the United States. It's not going to happen.
It could very well happen.
No. No. I mean, why do they think people who might be Republican or a little more conservative have no common sense in their fucking head? Why do they think that?
Because a lot of Republicans have talked about criminalizing people in relation to abortion.
Who are these Republicans and what names do they have and where do they live? Who are these people? Do they have any power? Just because someone's a Republican and says, I want to ban those goddamn, whoa, okay, are you in a position of power? No, I'm a farmer. Okay. So I guess that's an opinion then, really, isn't it? With no possibility of that person enforcing whatever laws he thinks he wants. What's wrong with these people? I mean, this is just, oh, God. Okay, go ahead.
And our back.
Let's hear what the unbiased anchor has to say.
Legislation that would push us closer to that nightmare.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen, but go ahead. Whatever fantasy you believe in.
Senator Lindsey Graham even introduced a bill last month calling for a federal abortion ban at 15 weeks of pregnancy.
Mm-hmm. In line with most Western countries in the world. That's right. There you go. What's the problem? Why say it's banned? Why not say it's legal to have abortions up to 15 weeks? Why ban? Oh, my God. Most people would support 15 weeks. This is not some crazy person. This is mainstream American people. 12 to 15 weeks, most people are probably okay with it. So why is this a problem? What is it in France? What is it in Germany? Any ideas? Something around there. What's the problem? I would think there's something else going on. Anyone?
On Tuesday, President Joe Biden talked about codifying Roe v. Wade before a crowd in Washington, D.C., and asked voters to help elect more Democrats to the Senate.
I'm asking the American people to remember how you felt. How you felt the day the extreme Dobbs decision came down.
The extreme Dobbs decision. See, as we've already learned and can be looked at. It's clear as if you want to look at it, there it is right in front of your face. When the decision comes down that the Democrats don't like, it's extreme. The Supreme Court needs to be aborted, needs to be expanded, When a decision comes down that they like, it's the best Supreme Court ever. My God, they're holding up the Constitution, democracy, rah, rah, fucking rah. You don't always get to win. And you can't just demonize the institution just because you don't get your way once in a while. Sound like a bunch of children whining in the corner because they didn't get more ice cream. You can't win every time.
And Roe was overturned after 50 years. And
overturned. How long was slavery legal in the United States? Did anybody? Well, there probably was people. Well, it's been legal, since 1776. So we got to keep it. No one would buy that argument. No one. But yet here they are. Well, it was legal for 50 years. It's a precedent, and so was slavery. Is anybody sad that we don't have slavery? Joe? Anyone?
if you do your part and vote, Democratic leaders in Congress, I promise you, will do our part.
No, you won't, because you have no power. Did you read the Supreme Court decision? It's not a federal power, you dumbass. It's under the 10th Amendment to the states. Now, I'm no legal scholar here or anything. I don't even play a lawyer on YouTube. But I'm guessing if they can do something, it would be draft a constitutional amendment making abortion legal in the United States, have it put in the Constitution. See, we got a big problem with that. See, we're never going to get 38 states. Bingo. That's the way our system is set up. If you don't get a majority of the states or 2/3 of the states or 3/4, whatever the hell it is, you don't get your way, Joe. That's the way our system is set up. If you don't like it, there are other countries you could go live in where they have a different system. Or change the Constitution. Do it by the book. I wouldn't like it, but if it's legal and it's done right, hey, that's the way it is. Pass the Women's Rights Amendment. Equal rights. You can't even do that, Joe. You can't even do that. Has anyone introduced the Equal Rights Amendment again? I'm all for women's rights. I'm doing more for women than anybody in the world. And like Donald Trump, hey, where's the Equal Rights Amendment? How come you're not floating it around again? You only need 38 states, and after all, women are oppressed in all kinds of places in this country. Pass the fucking amendment. At least propose it. Nothing. You remember where they were trying to get that jam through beginning of 2021? Remember? You know what happened? Someone said to them, oh, by the way, if you pass this shit, all the scholarships and shit just for women and a draft and all this crazy, that all goes away. And they stopped pushing it. Imagine that.
I'll do my part. And with your support, I'll sign a law codifying Roe in January. Together, let's remember who we are.
See, this is interesting political pandering because why not do it today, Joe? You have just as much chance to pass it today as you will in January. And I don't think you can really pass it anyway because it's not your purview. Read the 10th Amendment.
He also said he'd veto any national ban on abortion if such a law came before his desk.
So let's assume that the Congress can play games. The Senate, whatever, whoever's in power can pass all these abortion laws. Well, the next person that comes in, maybe Trump or Kerry Lake or the governor of South Dakota becomes president. And she has the support in the Congress. They can just repeal it. I'm tired of playing this game. Leave it to the states and be done with it. The states will work it out. It'll probably be 12 weeks with obviously exceptions for mother's life and all that. That's what it's going to turn out to be in most states in the country.
But the question a lot of people are asking is, why are we pushing all this to later down the line again? Democrats already have the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate.
Because it's a lie, Mehdi. They can't do that legislation. They fucking know it. Lindsey Graham offered that up to see, are they going to take the bait? Of course they won't. Nah, legalize it up to 15 weeks. No. So what do you want to legalize it up to? Might be a question someone might ask. Well, if 15 weeks is enough, what's your number? I think we know what the Democrats want, don't we? Unlimited up till birth.
Why wasn't Roe codified, at some point in the last 2 years? NBC's Andrea Mitchell asked House Speaker Nancy Pelosi that question on Tuesday.
Why did the president wait till now to
listen to Nancy Pelosi here?
Make this major push for what he says will be a post-election call for a fast track on abortion rights nationwide?
We don't have 60 votes in the Senate.
Bingo.
If we could get 2 more.
You don't think he could have pushed harder on the Senate?
You think we would have gotten 10 Republican votes? Do you think we would have gotten 10 Republican votes? Oh, come on. You know, let's with all due respect.
With all due respect, you're a dumbass.
I can't take what's going on in this country. In states like Florida and in Texas.
Hey. Excuse me, Governor Newsom. Why don't you fucking worry about your own state? There's an idea. Why don't you fix the problems in your state and show us how great it can be, and then we'll listen to your bullshit? Huh? Seems fair to me.
Banning books, restricting free speech.
Right.
With all due respect, why not push to get rid of the filibuster? Why expect Americans to vote for lawmakers to sit on their hands and do nothing?
Because Senator Sinema from Arizona and Senator Manchin from West Virginia said they do not go along with getting rid of the filibuster. You stupid fuck. Have you been paying attention at all? I mean, really, this is your frigging job. Don't you understand? They do not have the votes to get rid of the filibuster. It's just that simple.
I mean, they want them to at least try, because arresting women who have abortions and the doctors who perform them isn't some fantasyland nightmare. So no.
Yes, it is. No one is proposing arresting women for having an abortion, you stupid fuck. I mean, do you believe this propaganda? Do you fucking believe this? This is the kind of shit you're treated to if you're watching MSNBC. And a lot of people just turn it on and mindlessly watch it. It's, oh my God, they're going to arrest women for abortion. I'm going to vote against those people. Nobody is proposing that. Nobody with any authority is proposing that. You know it, Mr. Hassan. It's your job to know it.
Scenario, it is on some Republicans' agenda.
No, it's not, you stupid fucking liar. Some Republicans who have no power to enforce such nonsense.
And the sooner Democrats treat it as such, the safer America's women will be. Mm-hmm. Joining me now to discuss this is the White House's principal deputy press secretary, Olivia Dalton. Olivia, thanks so much for coming on the show. On Tuesday, President Biden committed to codify Roe in law in January 2023 if Democrats expand their majorities in Congress. Essentially, he made a pledge to protect women's rights, but it's a pledge with that key caveat: only if Democrats expand their control of the Senate.
Gee, I wonder why that is, Mr. Hassan. Because they currently don't have the votes to get rid of the filibuster. My God in heaven. And so if they get a couple of more, they might be able to do it. Jesus Christ. This is what passes for freaking journalism? I mean, seriously, do you guys watch MSNBC? You watch any of this shit? I certainly don't. Hey, Shinobi One. Hi. XYZCT, the time continuum man. Hey, what's going on? 11,700 amendments to the Constitution have been proposed since 1789. 25 have survived the process, meaning 90 were stupid. Well, there you go. I don't know if that number is true, but I'm sure it was quite a few. Yeah. So like I said, if they think they want to pass this and they want to make it legal and blah, 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 get a constitutional amendment cooked up and start passing it around to the states and let the states decide. But of course, they can't go that route because they won't get what they want. So let's just executive order that shit into, as if we had a king. Didn't we get a little pissed at King George back in the day? Not saying anything, just saying that was part of the reason why we kind of broke away from the crown. You know what I'm saying?
It's been over 100 days since Roe v. Wade was overturned. Is this still the best solution, the only solution the administration has to offer, even after all this time?
What solution do we need, Mr. Hassan? The subject is in the hands of the voters of each state. They can vote the way they want to vote. And whatever laws are proposed, they'll pass or they won't. What's the problem? I'm not seeing this as a big issue. I think it's a very good thing to have people involved voting for the things that they care about. Like I said, in Kansas, they passed it. They're doing some stuff. They got Florida's 15 weeks. Missouri's got some weird ideas, but it's not going to get through the sieve, etc. What's the problem? Why does something have to be done? I think we're under control here. State legislators meet, pass laws, ... What's the problem?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me on this, Mehdi. I think, as you heard the president say yesterday, he is going to make it his top legislative priority in the new Congress, if we're able to expand a pro-choice majority in Congress, to codify Roe into law. He will.
Why? We already have a solution. Why do we have to? There must be something else behind this. What do you guys think? Yeah? I think there's more to it than just states' rights. They don't want that. They want federal control, make it legal in all 50 states. Why? Why is that? Could it be abortion and the birth control pill, the foundation of why we are here today with respect to gender relations and so on? Families going down, marriage rate going down, divorce rate going up, blah, 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 blah. You think that's part of the fundamental plank of, those enlightened Marxists that installed themselves all over the country back in the 60s. Yeah?
Make it his first legislative act to send a bill to Capitol Hill to restore the protections granted under Roe to millions of American women.
Why don't you, wait a few minutes Wait a hot minute and see what the states do before you start doing crazy shit. Huh? Most legislatures don't meet until like January or whatever, right? Why don't you let the states work it out before you do some crazy stuff? Yeah? No. Every minute goes by is another dead baby we don't have to celebrate on the altar of Moloch, right?
And that's a critical priority.
But only if you expand your control of Congress. If not, we're back to square one where nothing else can be done.
Is this guy fucking stupid? Is this guy really this dumb? They don't have enough votes currently. What? Oh my God, guys. Am I being freaking silly here? I mean, what is this guy not understanding? Joseph McCarthy. Yeah, that's me weeding out those damn communists. Everywhere you look, there's another commie. So what's up in New Zealand, Shinobi? You got anything going on? Are you getting baked? Are you blazing? I think Iridium Kush was here earlier. He's probably getting all baked up. I haven't seen Pulse Kebab, though. Maybe he's not wakened from last night's Mushroom Fest.
Well, I think you've also heard, if we're just about 100 days past the devastating, unconscionable Dobbs decision, which
unconscionable, okay,
ripped away, overturned Roe, the decision that had been on the books for nearly 50 years and granted protections to American women.
I'm sure some people during the Civil War probably got pissed off too when the 13th Amendment was passed.
President Biden announced a suite of historic executive actions in the wake of that to try and do whatever he could to expand and protect reproductive health care access in the wake of Dobbs. But he's also been very consistently clear that it's incumbent on Congress to act to codify Roe. And it's also incumbent on the American people to make their voices heard on this.
Their voices will be heard in the state legislatures. So again, I come back to, the dead horse here. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see this as a problem. So why do you? Why is that?
That's the most impactful thing that we can do.
So you're saying the White House thinks it's incumbent on Congress to act, and surely Congress should act. But on the day of the Dobbs decision, members of Congress from your party, both Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Elizabeth Warren, and others, immediately called on the president to open up abortion clinics on federal land. Within less than a week of that, the Biden administration had dismissed the proposal, saying it had dangerous ramifications. Now,
can you imagine you go to Yellowstone National Park or Yosemite or something? Yeah, get your hot dogs, your frosty malts over here. Oh, the abortions are over there. So just get in the line over here and get ready to get that. Jesus Christ.
Get it. The basis for that proposal is legally untested. It's a legal gray area. It's outside the box. But does the White House understand why people like Senator Warren, why members of the public, why activists want your administration to consider more out-of-the-box options? Because as of right now...
Because what, Hassan? Because of what?
Oh, aside from Congress codifying Roe with extra votes, which isn't likely to happen given the polls, you do need to think outside the box, no?
Again, dead horse beaten. The states will decide it. So now I wonder if the Native American reservations, they're sovereign, so they could probably do something about that, right? They could open up clinics there probably. And it's an idea.
We've got to do everything we can to restore Roe.
Why? Simple question. Why?
That is where we are putting our emphasis. That's what the president believes must happen. And that's what the urgent clarion call he delivered to the country yesterday. That's the most important thing we can...
Excuse me. Urgent after 100 days after the decision. Urgent? One might be cynical about it and say, I wonder if it isn't just an election ploy. What do you think?
Do to restore fundamental rights and protections to women all across this country. He has taken executive action, as I just mentioned a moment ago, to try and make sure we are doing everything in the meantime that we can to protect and expand reproductive health care access. But we've really got to focus our energy on restoring the protections of Roe.
Meaning nationwide legal. Why? Why?
Is there any more executive action on the way, though, is what I'm wondering.
You mean illegal executive orders? Right.
You know, this president has done everything in his power to keep expanding reproductive health care access. He's directed every federal agency to do the same. And now, as you saw yesterday, he's asked the American people to make their voices heard. And if they deliver a pro-choice majority to Congress, he will make it his top legislative priority to deliver Roe to the Hill.
Can we then say fairly that the federal government wants more babies to be murdered? Kind of sounds like what they want.
Please don't scroll away. This is Reverend Warnock.
No, sir.
And in a moment, yes, I'm going to ask you to make a donation.
No, sir.
Olivia, abortion rights activists were critical of your administration for being slow to respond to the Dobbs decision, what you called an unconscionable decision, and for not being prepared for it, even after having a 2-month heads up with the leak of the draft Alito opinion in May. In response to those criticisms from activists, White House Communications Director Kate Bedingfield said in July, and I quote, "Joe Biden's goal in responding to Dobbs is not to satisfy some activists who have been consistently out of step with the mainstream of the Democratic Party." I wonder, in hindsight, does the White House regret that statement? Does this administration...
I have to read the whole thing here. Hold on. Joe Biden's goal is responding to Dobbs is not to satisfy some activists who have been consistently out of step with the mainstream of the Democratic Party. Okay. To deliver help to women who are in danger and assemble a broad-based coalition to defend a women's right to choose now, according to Bedingfield. Okay, most states you can. Again, what is the problem?
That statement, does this administration really consider abortion rights activists to be out of step with the mainstream of the party or even the American public on this issue?
They are. A bit of truth from the Joe Biden administration.
No, look, it's very clear that a majority of the American public supports Roe, would like to see Roe protected.
And yes, and the caveat is what, dear? The majority of Americans want to see abortion legal, but what are the caveats? Anything. Oh, they want to limit first trimester. They always seem to forget that.
And I think that it's possible to agree on the goals without always agreeing on the tactics. What the most important thing I can communicate to you here is that after the Dobbs decision first leaked to the public, and we imagined the possibility that this long-standing protection might be struck down by the Supreme Court, the administration leapt into action, and we began planning for every contingency.
Okay.
So we were ready to go. And the Biden administration, President Biden, very, very quickly after the Dobbs decision came down, announced that suite of executive actions to protect and expand protections to reproductive health care as much as possible.
And I get the point about, different tactics, similar goals. I just want to clarify the language because it upset a lot of people. Is the White House's position that abortion rights activists are out of step with the mainstream views of the Democratic Party of the American public?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Look,
the ones screaming about up till birth abortions, yes, they absolutely are. We could pull up the poll statistics. So I think it's 77, 78% of American people believe Roe should be, or abortion should be legal with limitations, probably first trimester. That's what the polls say. The radical, crazy people, they want to see abortion right up until birth. That is definitely out of touch with the American people, without question.
I think, as I just said, it's very clear that the American public overwhelmingly supports Roe, overwhelmingly supports a woman's fundamental right to choose.
With a first trimester, with a limit of the first trimester. 12 weeks. Don't want to say that, though, huh?
Of mainstream position of Americans.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, do you guys actually watch this shit? I can't even believe. I mean, I rarely go to the news. I put the local news on once in a while. But this is just absolute propaganda and bullshit. This is crazy. All right, let her finish up here.
Last question, Olivia. A poll released for Reuters this week showed that abortion is no longer top of mind for voters. Rather, voters keep citing inflation and the economy as their top concerns.
You mean Roe was a big old thud, as predicted by the hamster? It's not a big mainstream, pull your hair out, light it on fire issue. It simply isn't. It's just not. Again, you have these people in Washington, the Democrat Party and AOC and all these, but they only hear from the rabid, crazy ones, and they think that reflects mainstream America. It does not. Clearly, from this particular poll from Reuters Ipsos, 7%. It's not very much.
That is one of many polls. Does the White House recognize that? Are you worried about that? Will that shift in voter concerns be an issue for the White House going forward, especially with midterms around the corner?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that, because that's what the president has been focused on for the past 20 months, and particularly for the past 2 weeks. Just over the last couple of weeks, he's spent most of his time on the road talking about everything that this administration is doing to lower costs for American families, to protect.
What are they doing? I'd like to know.
And strengthen Medicare and Social Security, to invest in bringing jobs back and manufacturing back to America.
Excuse me, Olivia. It's a lovely name, by the way. Who came up with NAFTA? Which party? Well, of course, both parties had to vote on it and pass it. Who came up with that idea to ship all the jobs overseas? To Mexico, Canada, China. Who was that? Do you remember the president's name? Anyone? Anyone? Which party was he affiliated with? Who had speech after speech about how we're not going to make any more shit in the United States. We're going to be a service-based economy. We're going to make women feel better because it's all those nasty men building stuff. Who was that? Does anyone remember in the chat who was the president and what party was he? Mr. Pliskin wins the prize. William Jefferson Clinton, 1994. Shipped all this shit overseas, and now Joe Biden's I guess he had an epiphany. Well, we got to bring all that shit back suddenly. Didn't Donald Trump say he wanted to do that, and they vilified him? We want to bring shit here. We want to build stuff in the United States. We want good jobs for people. Oh, my God, he's a Nazi. Nationalism, fascism. Look at this guy. Well, now Joe Biden wants to do the same thing. Oh, well, gee, Mr. Biden's all holy and wise, and I don't know, everything he says is gold.
Addressed student borrowers were piled under mountains of student debt. And
by the way, that was shot down by a court. So, sorry, hipsters or whatever the fuck you Kush smokers that took shit in college. Yeah, you're gonna have to still pay your student loans for now.
Provide relief. And earlier this week, we announced thousands of dollars in savings for 30 million Americans impacted by hearing loss. And just today,
millions of dollars in savings. Wow.
Of course, the president making new remarks on actions we're doing to bring down the cost of gas prices. So the president is laser focused on the issues that matter to the American people, and he'll do that while also continuing to focus on standing up for American women.
So how is he going to reduce the price of gasoline? He's going to release a few million gallons from the Strategic Oil Reserve. Well, Mr. President, what if we just start drilling and shit? No. Oil is evil. It's evil. Funny in what? 1 year and a half, we went from an energy exporter to now being reliant on other countries. Crazy, isn't it? So there you go. Talk about absolute, pure 100% propaganda. Unbelievable. We better find another one. I can't really even believe this. I know I'm not being trolled. I know it's their official station and all, but my God, it's just crazy. It's easier to destroy than create. That's right. Mr. Time Traveler guy. Brandon Trueblood. Biden is lowering costs by devaluing the dollar, printing dollars for everyone. Sure. There you go. Biden is lowering costs by devaluing. Yep, got that one already. Here we go. Patricia Toth, feminism was always a Marxist attack on Western societies. Yeah, we got a girl named Patricia in here. Hi, Patricia. How are you? Good to see you. I mean, I don't want to misgender you. I mean, you might be an it, but I'll go with Patricia is a female. Oh my God, you misgendering bastard from hell, you. Yeah, all right, let's see what else is in here. See what other garbage we can come up with. I mean, while we're here. It's only 3:20. We got a few more minutes, and then I got to eat food. We've got here 12-year-old kids organizing abortion rallies. Okay. Just, oh my God. There's gender equality in Nigeria, where they definitely need some help there. Sure. Constitutional abortion amendment proposed. All right. Let's see what this is all about.
Discover the power of sharing with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is not insurance.
It's for the children.
It's a Christian health share ministry that shares eligible medical costs with other members. Visit libertyhealthshare.org for more information.
Under a dark sky, Governor Inslee tells this crowd a storm is on the horizon.
I think this is the governor of Washington, I believe.
Because there are those who would like to threaten the right of a woman to exercise her right of choice.
Really, in Washington State, in Washington, where Seattle might be located, you're worried about some evil Republican banning abortion in Washington State. Okay.
In the state of Washington.
Human lives are being destroyed day in and day out. In the years leading up to the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, Inslee says Washington Republicans have introduced 40 bills to eliminate or reduce reproductive choice.
And isn't it nice democracy worked? Those bills didn't pass. It's the way it works, people.
Today, he vowed to amend the state constitution and guarantee a woman's right to choose here forever.
Washington State is a pro-choice state, and we intend to make it a constitutional amendment so that Washington State will always be a pro-choice state.
Okay, well, for people who aren't pro-choice, they might not agree with you, but go
In
ahead.
addition to the amendment, policy is being introduced to make Washington a sanctuary state for abortions.
Wonder if the taxpayers of Washington going to send money over to the poor women so they can get a bus and ride up there and get their
Providing
abortion.
patients and providers with protections
why
if
not?
anyone tries to sue or jail them. Lawmakers are also introducing a bill that would close a legal loophole that allows organizations to collect, share, and sell private health information.
Okay, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Constitutional amendment would require a 2/3 majority in the legislature. While Democrats hold a strong majority, they currently do not have 2/3. Anti-abortion advocates believe the numbers are on their side.
We have a huge pro-life following in different parts of the state. King County, totally different story.
My
body,
my health, my choice. The abortion debate energizing both sides less than 3 weeks from Election Day.
Voters have a right to make some decisions this November,
Yeah.
and we're going to see what decisions and who are on these particular seats.
The latest numbers from the State Department of Health show about 100,000 pregnancies in 2020 and just over 16,000 abortions. The number of abortions has continued to decrease since 2014. In Bellingham, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
There you go. See? In Washington State, they're worried about some stupid Republicans introducing legislation that didn't pass. So, oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Haley Williams. Who is that? Do you know who Haley Williams is?
While we were putting this tour together, it was a gift to have the opportunity to be able to use it for some good. And
some good.
So I want to say thank you for purchasing a ticket. You support women's rights to choose what we do with our bodies.
Yeah, well, half your audience is probably not going to say marketing. Yeah. You do have the choice to do what you want with your body. So, problem solved, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Who is this person? Does anybody know who this is? Haley Williams? I assume she's a singer of some sort.
There's so many causes and there's so many things that we could get up on a soapbox about and try to use our platform for. And quite frankly, it gets really overwhelming. I'm sure you feel the same way. It doesn't matter if you're in a band or not. It gets really overwhelming. It's really exhausting. But one thing that I know is that for us, this is a huge gift, and you're helping us, use it to make some good, to hopefully bring some.
It really depends on how you define good. Some people don't believe murdering babies is a good. But go ahead. Climate change, yes.
Thank
yes.
you. Endlessly, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, if you're here tonight,
Yeah.
and that's still, on your mind, you want to support people's right to choose what happens with their bodies, and
It's not the people's right to choose; it's women's right.
Healthcare for all people.
Why don't they ever want to say that? Do you think they're conscious of the fact that men have no reproductive rights, and they don't want to mention that it's only for women? Is that what they're doing?
And this is all I'll say. Shut my mouth. I'm gonna sing.
Good.
On November 8th, vote no.
Vote no on what? What are we supposed to vote no on? I got to go look at the comments here. Maybe I missed something. Hold on here. What is she talking about? Voting no on what? No on what? Oh my God! Hold on. Let me look at the comments. All right. iPhone 14. Buy one today for only $40,000. Let's see. What are we trying to vote on here? So much for her being. Oh, she's Christian. Is that right? Well. I guess not. Haley, you seem like a really nice girl. You probably mean well, but if you were to watch how a real boy, okay, yeah. Slasher says, Quain. My only gripe with her is the time she called out men for waiting for autograph. I'm making anyone go. Oh God, please. Oof! I'm surprised at the amount of sheer ignorance in these comments. If you don't like what Haley has to say, if you don't like Paramore, if you think a woman shouldn't have the right to choose, or that masks are a threat to your human life, or some ridiculous crap, kindly see the back door to the 1800s. Okay. Well, thanks, Pedals, for your brilliant comment. I'm so bored of hearing whiny men online repeating the same old line about how artists, the most sensitive, are supposed to stay quiet about their beliefs. I don't care what she says. It makes no difference. It just doesn't matter. Preach it, Haley. I want to kill a child up until 9 months. Women rights in 20. That's exactly right. After all, what would be the federal government wanting to get their nose up in that? Why? Probably going to have 12, 15 weeks all across the country. Why does it have to be more than that? What's the problem? Just wondering. I'm just floored by these comments. If men's rights were being opposed, there'd be a world war. You mean like the right that men have no reproductive rights in this country? What? You don't care. Oh, that's true, honestly. Is it? Really? Oh, the patriarchy. Yes. I wonder if men being oppressed by the draft and by divorce court and by child custody and various other things, does that count as oppression? No. Suck it up, you losers. Gray Man says, killing your baby isn't a right. Snuffing out the life of your unborn child isn't a right, and it's not your body. It's theirs. Okay. Obviously, aborting SCOTUS would never happen, though there would be an abortion ban. The baby Senator Graham's plan of 15 weeks with the exceptions. Yeah. I'd probably do 12, but I'm sure. Now, that's what it's going to come down to anyway, so why piss and moan about it? Just let the legal stuff work out and see what happens. Let's see, what else do we have here? Abortion rights filibuster. It's MSNBC again. Should we look? All right, we'll look.
Red Riding Hood loved visiting Grandma's house.
So she got ate by the wolf.
Others did too.
Red Riding Hood
But
eaten
after
by the
saving
wolf.
big with early holiday deals at Amazon,
Croissants, pastryarchy. I like it.
she was ready for
Big Tal
those
Cowboy. My father needs a
uninvited
kidney.
guests.
iPhone's no different than any other Chinese phone other than middle class uses. Yeah, well, they're not selling those things cheap anymore. That's for sure.
Everywhere you went.
Big Towel Cowboy wants to call in.
Later on, they ended up having to close the doors.
Well, let's
They
see
couldn't
here.
let anyone else in. It was so crowded. Close the door.
What do we miss
There was
here?
people.
Okay. Let's just go through it. It's like 2
Everywhere
minutes.
you went, there was people.
Okay. People.
Later on, they ended up having to close the doors. They couldn't let anyone else in. It was so crowded.
My God, is this an insurrection? Oh my God.
A group of 20 women in San Antonio, all in their 60s and 70s, at 9 o'clock at night, and they said, "We are going to the Capitol."
Holy shit. 20 women from San Antonio. San Antonio has a population of what? 5-6 million people.
They
Representing, I guess.
wanted to be part of this. They wanted to say, "Stop this."
Okay.
I've seen the women who marched on Washington back in the day, and then young people who've never been to any kind of action in their life.
It was really cool, the kind of sense of community it was, just creating like this bond that, you know, no matter what happens, we're all still going to be in this together for the long run.
We are coming back. We are coming back.
We are coming back. Okay.
We are coming back. We are coming back.
There were these moments in the day when the building would literally come alive. I could feel it under my feet.
Wow.
That was a clip from a new documentary, Shouting Down Midnight, which revisits the story of Texas Senator Wendy Davis.
Oh,
and her
God. Wendy Davis, abortion Barbie. Yep, I remember that.
marathon filibuster of the state's abortion restriction bill in
Oh, but she's wearing pink shoes. Oh, my God. It's so cute.
2013. It is part of Trevor
Yeah.
Noah's new docuseries, The
Oh,
Turning
Trevor
Point.
Noah. Is he
and
on
it's
this
set to air
channel?
on this network this Sunday night at 10 p.m. Joining me once again is Trevor Noah, host of The Daily Show. Trevor, tell me about this. I think
Didn't he get fired? Or was that the other guy?
some of us remember this.
One of these guys just got canned.
But seeing it, reliving it in a way, it you can viscerally, like, you can
Yes.
feel the emotion of that moment, the excitement, the sense of possibility. How did you get involved with this? And sort of more urgently, why now? Why?
Because he was told by his boss to go do it. Seems pretty easy to
Why
me.
release this now?
You know what's sad is when I got involved in this project, this documentary in particular wasn't as pressing as it is now.
Yeah.
You know, when we were speaking of it, in a theoretical way. Everyone was saying, will the Republicans do this? Are they going to take it? And Republicans, you know, as even Chris Hayes was talking about, would come and say, no, there will be exceptions. This is not what we look. It's not nationwide. This is not what's going. And here you have now a country where women all over the continent are saying, what is going to happen? From the East Coast to the West Coast, women are saying, what is going to happen? Will we have control over our bodies? And
Yeah, you do. You should try to control them. Maybe you wouldn't get knocked up. Just saying.
And in making this documentary, what I loved about the storytelling, and each part of Turning Point is made by different filmmakers, produced by different people, because I think each story is so unique. This story isn't just about that moment when Wendy Davis stood up there and basically, fought for all these women's rights and said, I will stand here, even though I know we will lose. I will stand here despite that.
And all the overwhelming support of all the whammons in Texas, when she ran for governor, they just didn't seem to show up.
It became about what it inspired, not just in her community, but in multiple areas where people said, we need to fight for our rights to control our own bodies.
Yeah.
Again, you have control over your body. Try using control. Prepare yourself.
Yeah. And I mean,
Jesus.
how prescient that fight now seems, right?
Oh, yeah. God. Jesus. Yeah. Abortion Barbie. Abortion Barbie. They already do, Trevor. Just feminism made them believe that not killing babies is oppression. Yeah, that's right. Mead. That's good, too. That's honey beer, right? Yep. Sorry, I canceled myself. What's the matter with you? I don't know. I'm stupido. All right, where the hell were we? All right. Oh, it stopped doing everything. Okay, I got to share again. Let me go back to that garbage here. All right, just you got to hit the right button, and then everything will be fine. All right. Let's see if we have anything else while we're here. Let's see. Power of Iranian women. Yeah, the Iranian women. There's some weird shit going on over there. Biden delivers remarks on abortion. We don't. Do we really want to do that? No. We don't want to do that. I think we've heard enough Biden for one day. New book. Here we go. New book argues men are responsible for pregnancies. Oh, this is right up our alley. Let's go. All right. Heineken 0%. Okay.
One of the biggest issues in the midterms is women getting their right to choose taken away, mostly by men making laws to ban abortion.
No, it's not, Joy. We just had the data. Recent poll a couple of days ago. 7% of the people care about abortion in this country. 7%. 29% or 30% or whatever care about the frigging economy. That's a few percentage points higher. But go on and keep eluding yourself. That's fine.
But there's a new book that reminds them it takes two to tango. Here's what author Gabrielle Blair says about it. Watch.
The title is both a prescription and an argument. It encapsulates the whole idea in 2 words. Ejaculate responsibly. No one has control over where of the release of sperm more than men. They get to decide if they're going to release sperm or not. And it's sperm that impregnates an egg. Ovulation, having a fertile egg, is totally involuntary. I cannot control it. It happens once a month for me, and I cannot control when or where.
Oh my God. Oh my God in heaven. Let's take all the responsibility from women having sex with a dude. Seriously. I knew this was going to be a winner,
Where
guys.
it happens.
Let's go on.
But ejaculation is always voluntary. You always get the choice.
Really?
That's what she said, Joy.
I'm not so sure about that last part, that it's always voluntary. You know, men have issues sometimes, but
Come on.
let's not go there. So do you ladies think that holding men more accountable for pregnancy will make them think differently about this?
How much more fucking accountable can men be? How much more? Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure it'll make them think differently, but this was brilliant for a few reasons. We talk about the Roe v. Wade being overturned and how we now worry about contraception, Plan B, all these things that could be dialed back.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
What we don't talk about is the free condoms that you can get very affordably. No one's trying to cut those back.
Free condoms. Where do I get those? You guys know where to get free condoms? Planned Parenthood, maybe?
And so maybe emphasizing that part a little more, because in this article, Gabrielle says, a woman can be the sluttiest slut in the entire world who loves having orgasms all day long and all night long. When is that possible? And she will never find herself with an unwanted pregnancy unless a man shows up and ejaculates irresponsibly.
Nothing to do with it. All the man. Jesus.
And I thought, that is so dang true. Putting a little more, I mean, we always knew this, but putting more emphasis on something that's not being taken away, not at risk. Condoms.
Yeah, but
Well, listen, there's a book.
Nobody's going to take away birth control, you idiot. Stop it.
Called Ejaculate Responsibly. I want to send 100 copies to Herschel Walker.
Well, fair enough.
I think, I think
for me, there's a short term and a long term. Short term, we've got a little bit over 2 weeks before the election, and what women need to concentrate on between now and then is organizing, showing up, being vocal, and voting.
Yes. Yes. Vote the people in your state, in their state election coming up in 2022 in a couple of weeks, and vote the people in you think are going to pass laws that you agree with. Exactly. Democracy, baby. Democracy.
A plan now for how you're going to vote, whether it's going to be by mail, early, in person. Call your circle. That to me is the short term. The long term, I think mothers need to start talking to their sons, and you both have sons, about being responsible. And
should they talk to their daughters as well? Or should we just get half of the equation out of the picture and just talk to the men? Now, the little Janie over there. Oh no, you're a special princess. No, it's evil man. What is this? Seriously, what the fuck is this? Absolutely agree. Have talks with your sons about this stuff and your daughters. How can you leave half of the equation out? It doesn't make any fucking sense. My God.
we need to bring men into this. Too often we talk about it as a woman's issue, a women's rights issue. And and as you said, physiologically, also this lady needs to go testify in Congress, because I really think a lot of these old white men have no idea how a female reproductive system works.
You want to.
Okay. Who decides to have intercourse? Who agrees to having sex? Obviously both parties, but she has to consent, or else it's a criminal activity. She can tell him, you shall not unless you put a condom on. She can be on birth control, IUDs, she could sponge, she could squirt stuff up in there. But they're taking her out of the picture. Now, I don't know how the hell they get there. What are they even trying to talk about here? Yes, men should take responsibility and wrap the rascal up. Absolutely. Double wrap it if you can. But she has nothing to do with it? Are you serious? I mean, I know this is The View, but come on, this is even crazy for them. What the hell are they talking about?
I want to hear an interesting fact.
Yeah, I want to.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, a trial for male birth control was shut down. Why? Because some of the participants experienced acne and weight gain.
Or they might have had some heart problems, but let's not report that. Let's not talk about that.
Okay? They are in control of us in many ways, and there you have it right there, another way.
Again, always the victim. Always the object. No agency. I'm just an object that men are in control of. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously. This has got to be a troll job, man. What in the God's name?
Men, certainly their brains develop at a slower pace in terms of maturity.
then.
So you're talking about putting the onus on a man who's probably 18 and has the mind of a 13-year-old.
Hey, believe what you want, whatever you want to believe about men. Sure, go ahead. Yeah. Whatever you think will make you feel better, dear.
Don't mature until they're 25. Mothers do speak to their sons. I speak to my son about it all the time. I'm not ready to be a grandma, okay? Be responsible, be careful. But it's interesting to me that when we talk about women's rights, and especially when we talk about a woman's right to choose.
How about a women's responsibility? No.
Everyone at this table at one time or another has said that a man does not have a right to say anything about that.
That's right. Absolutely. Men do not have reproductive rights legally in this country. That is correct. Only the women. And yet all the responsibility should be on the men, according to this new book. And again, I don't disagree. You shouldn't be raw dogging a hoe. That's obviously for the pregnancy and for other, itchy, scratchy crap. I totally agree.
So what if the man wants to keep the child? I mean, there was this social scientist in 2005 that came out with the argument that said it does take two to tango. There's no question.
Nope.
But why is it then only the woman that has the right to choose to terminate a pregnancy?
That's a very good question, dear. And I'm glad you brought it up. Let's hear what the other cackling hens have to say about that.
Body.
That's what I thought was
It's,
kind of.
it's her body, but now we're arguing. But men really need to take more responsibility because it's
She already
their
have men
body
who
too.
don't pay child support, who abandon their families, who do
Jesus Christ. Do I have to quickly go through this one time? This myth comes from back in the 50s when the carnival came to town. Young girl was enamored with one of the carnies. He did her. They left town the next day. She didn't know who he was, didn't know where he was from. He just wanted to fuck. This does not happen today. If you get a chick pregnant and she knows who you are, she will get her child support. There is no escaping. Unless you happen to be from a foreign country and you don't live here and you come in for the weekend and you blast out and you don't come back. Yeah, maybe. But if you live here, you have a social security number, you have a driver's license, you have a name, Child Support Services will fucking find you. This is a myth continued to be promulgated to these weak-minded females. I'm sorry, that was misogynist. It was intended to be.
those things. So, if they're ready to show up and do their part, then welcome to the party.
I'm sure many women would love to have a baby with a responsible guy.
But I think there are a lot of men that want
being-
the baby to keep the babies, and mothers don't.
But that's kind of the question, the whole debate around abortion, though.
Yeah.
Choice.
Yes, it
Should
is.
men are you suggesting men should have a choice
Yes.
in terminating
I've
pregnancy?
always said that, yeah.
Yeah. Or relieving themselves of being forced to become a father. Yes. You want equality? That would be equal. Yes. Yes, it would. But no, it's never going to happen, is it?
I don't totally
Not
agree with that.
terminating pregnancy.
It's not that they shouldn't have a choice, but
Keeping
you
the
can't.
pregnancy.
Once you give men too much power in this, then you lose your own agency as a woman.
You mean any power? So it's all responsibility, but no rights. And Joy Behar is completely fine with that. I'm shocked. How are you?
Do they have any power in it? Do they have any power?
No. No, they don't. That's the freaking point.
What they shouldn't have a choice about is paying child support.
Okay.
And I
Right.
wish
That's true.
that the
Well, if
same
you have the
energy for
baby.
these laws would be applied
Do
to
they have
child
any power?
deadbeat laws.
Should they have a choice to pay child support or they are required to? She said choice. I don't think she really meant that. Maybe she
We're
did.
talking about abortion, not having the baby right now. We're talking about abortion. But
Mm.
the man
That's a
should
part-
not
but-
have anything to say about whether she
Wait, I
gets
wanna
the
hear what
abortion
Alyssa
or
was
not,
saying.
in my opinion.
Well, I was just going to say, I think this was thought provoking because it reframes the discussion around men having more of an onus on the decision around pregnancy and unwanted pregnancies. I did think that was fascinating because there's such a misunderstanding around birth control. I've been on it since well before I ever thought about being sexually active. It's prescribed many times for medical reasons.
Yeah. We've heard it all before. Yeah, right. You had acne. Yeah, whatever.
So why not shift a little bit of this to the man? Say if you do not want to have a pregnancy, then it needs to be condoms. It needs to be pulling out. There's other discussions we can have. Possibly the acne stuff.
We certainly should do better in terms of birth control for men.
Yeah.
We certainly should do
Well,
more
it's
research.
called snipping.
Oh, we're not. That's one. I think before that, a pill would be easier.
You know, but what man is going to say, okay, I think I'll get a vasectomy. I'm dying to go to the doctor and have that done. They're not going to do it. It's hard.
A lot of guys are doing that, Joy, for the exact reasons we just discussed. So clearly the ladies on The View, they do not believe men should have reproductive rights. Well, guess what? They don't. They don't, Joy. So you should be very, very happy about that. And how is that equal and fair and reasonable? Just wondering. Well, that was fun. I got to listen back to that. All right, guys. You take care. See you later. Bye.